Your soil moisture sensor has fresh batteries and a solid signal. Every circuit in it works perfectly, and it still lies to you every single day. Nothing is broken. What failed is an assumption you never said out loud, that the one spot it lives in speaks for your whole garden. I am Michel. I drive buses in Belfast. Tonight, 4 traps that make a healthy probe tell the wrong story. Whole garden. Start with a story this channel has told before, because it hides a lesson we did not take from it the first time. The famous holiday thread: a gardener flew off for 12 days and hired someone to water. The sitter even sent photos of herself watering. And the garden still came back dead. Series 3 treated that as a holiday lesson. Tonight, look again. The photographs were real. Nobody faked anything. Real hose, real water, real smiling sitter. And the garden died anyway, because a picture of watering happening is not the same as the root zone getting wet. The evidence was true. The conclusion drawn from it was false. Now open the app on your phone and look at that tidy percentage your soil probe sends you. That number is a photograph. It is a true record of one small patch of soil, taken from one angle, at one moment. Whether it tells you anything about the bed your carrots are actually drinking from is a completely separate question. That gap between a true reading and a true picture of your garden is tonight's whole episode. There are 4 traps hiding in that gap: depth, spot, threshold, and time. We will spring every one of them. Trap 1 is depth, and it catches almost everyone because the natural way to install a probe is the wrong way. You push it into the surface, pat the soil, done. But think about what lives up there. The surface crust is the layer the sun hits, the wind strips, and the rain wets first. It is the most dramatic layer in the garden. It dries first and loudest, and it soaks first and loudest. Series 1 built our rule for exactly this reason. Fingers go in 5 to 10 centimeters, because that is where the truth starts, not on the crust. Your probe deserves the same courtesy. And remember the peat-free lesson from Series 1. Some composts sit dry as paper on top, while the middle of the pot is still holding plenty. A probe lying in that top crust files a drought report, while the roots underneath are drinking comfortably. Run the watering off that report, and you drown a happy pot. So the rule is simple. Bury the blades at the depth your plants actually drink from. For a bed of salads that is shallow. For tomatoes in a deep container, deeper. For a shrub border, deeper again. The probe should live where the roots live, because that is the layer you are managing. Nobody waters a garden to keep the crust comfortable. Trap 2 is the spot, and this one has politics in it. The moment you connect a probe to anything automatic, that probe becomes the zone's official spokesman. Nobody elected it. It just lives there. Wherever its blades happen to sit, that handful of soil becomes the official truth for every plant in the zone. So walk the zone before you choose its spokesman. There are dishonest spots everywhere. The soil right under a dripper is the wettest address in the garden. And a probe there will swear the whole bed is soaked while the far corner gasps. A little dip where water collects tells the same happy lie. And the base of a sunny wall tells the opposite one. Series 1 called that strip the rain shadow, the driest ground you own. Mrs. Doyle's roses live against a wall like that, and any probe planted beside them would order water for a zone that mostly does not need it. What you want is the boring middle, representative ground, typical soil, average sun, between the drippers rather than under one. And the trade rule says at least 1 probe per watering zone, because zones were drawn as separate worlds. Letting one bed speak for another is how greenhouses drown. Here is the uncomfortable question to take to bed. Your probe is in some spot right now. Who chose it? You, or whichever hand was more convenient that afternoon. Trap 3 is the threshold, the number where the watering kicks in. The kit makes this trap for you because it arrives with a default. Water below 30% say, and the number itself does not matter here, the soils do, so run the experiment from last week one more time with tonight's twist. Same probe model, same setting, 2 zones. One sandy bed, one heavy clay. Both report 30% this morning, same number. Are they the same? Not even close. Sand and clay hold and release water so differently that one of those gardens may be perfectly happy while the other is already parched, and the number will not tell you which is which. A default threshold is a stranger's guess about somebody else's soil. Now add containers, which dry on a completely different clock to any open bed, and raised beds which sit somewhere between, and you can see the shape of the trap. One number applied everywhere will be wrong almost everywhere. This is why last week's verdict said capacitance calibrated. Calibration in your own soil is what turns the stranger's guess into your dialect. So give every zone its own line in the sand. The pots get one threshold, the clay border gets another, the greenhouse bed gets its own. It is 5 minutes of settings once, and it removes a lie from every single morning after. Now we can name the disease under all 3 traps, and it is the signature idea of tonight. A reading is never just a reading, it is a reading from somewhere, by something, calibrated at some point, where it sits, how deep, what soil surrounds it, when you last taught it what wet and dry mean. Strip those coordinates away and the number floats free of the world. A number with no address is just a rumor with confidence. So give every probe a passport, 4 lines written once, where it sits, and how deep, what soil it sits in, the day it was calibrated, and the number you have decided means water now for that zone. Free tip, masking tape and a marker do the job. Stick it by the tap or on the probe zone stake, and treat the calibration line as a date that expires, not a certificate for life. Repot into fresh compost, change your feeding habits, and the old calibration quietly stops describing the soil the probe now lives in. Probes age too. When the passport says last summer, believe the passport, not the number. There is a whole discipline of writing this stuff down properly, and it deserves its own evening, so a logbook episode is coming later this series. For tonight, 4 lines of masking tape will do, because a reading with a passport is information. A reading without one is a stranger shouting a number through your letterbox. Honest minute on kit, because tonight is secretly an argument for zones. 4 zones means 4 soils, 4 thresholds, 4 different truths, and that is exactly how my own tap is set up. The Johgee 4 zone runs each line on its own schedule. My probes told me the greenhouse bed dries faster than the patio pots, so Zone 2 waters on a tighter timetable than Zone 3. To be clear about the wiring, the probes do not talk to the timer. They talk to me, and I set the schedules. Reading informs, timer executes. And the honest bit, 2 or 3 pots need neither half of that. A finger and a 9-pound dial timer will never lie to you about anything. Trap 4 is time, and springing it turns everything tonight from a burden into a gift. Stop reading your probe like a verdict. One glance, one number, panic or relax. A single snapshot is the weakest form of the data, bent by salt, by soil, by the spot, by everything we have covered. But here's the thing, watch the same probe across a week and something lovely happens. The line jumps when you water. It slides down as the bed dries and the plants drink. It flattens on cool gray days and dives during a heat wave. That shape is the drying rhythm of your actual garden, and the shape survives most of the lies. A probe that reads 5 points too high reads 5 points too high all week, so the number is off, but the rhythm is true. The systematic errors shift the line up or down. The breathing of the curve stays honest. I drive buses for a living, and no inspector judges a route on one stop's clock. They watch the pattern across the whole day. Same discipline here. One caution, since nothing in this series gets to be a magic trick. A probe drifting week by week can bend even the curve, which is exactly why the calibration date lives on the passport. But as working rules go, this one earns its keep. The curve is the hardest witness to fool.